2 days after Matthew Fitzpatrick won the 2022 U.S. Open at Brookline using a Titleist TSR3 driver, the company brought out its newest family of drivers to the PGA Tour for the very first time here at TPC River Highlands, the Titleist TSR series. And there are 3 of them, the Titleist TSR2, 3, and 4. And while they look very similar and share a few things in common, they are made for very different golfers. All the Titleist TSR drivers are going to be made completely out of titanium. There's no carbon fiber that you're going to find here. And if you've liked the looks at the address position of Titleist drivers in the past, you're going to love the look at address of the TSR family. All of them have an all black, glossy black construction on the top. There's no visual things that are going to distract you. It is a very, very clean, classic Titleist look. All the drivers also have an adjustable sure-fit hosel mechanism that allows you to independently change the loft as well as the lie angle of the golf club. Now, the Titleist TSR2 specifically, this is going to be the most stable, the most forgiving club in the TSR lineup. This is your point-and-shoot bomber, if you will. Now, Titleist had heard in the TSI lineup with regard to the 2 club that some players thought it looked like it went a little bit to the left. They thought it looked a little bit too big. They thought it might be a little bit slower than the TSI3. So with that in mind, Titleist curved the toe just a little bit right here to give it a little bit more pear shape. It still is going to be the largest driver from front to back, but it's going to give a little bit more of that classic pear shape that most players are going to like. The company also reshaped this club. So instead of coming to a point like it did in the very back part of the TSI2, this one now, if you'll notice, has a little bit of an overhang from the crown onto the sole. The top of the club sort of dips back underneath before it meets the bottom. And aerodynamically, that's going to help to create more efficiency, better airflow around the club, so that with the same amount of effort, you're going to be able to swing this club a little bit faster than the old TSI2 it replaces. Titleist also worked to create a new face insert, a variable thickness face insert, so that you get really good performance out of center struck shots, as you would expect, but it helps to protect ball speed on shots that you're hitting off center, so that you're getting better, more efficient use of the speed that you're going to be creating. The TSR3 model is designed for players who want left-right adjustability, just like the TSI3 that it replaces. From a look standpoint in the address position as well as the profile, it is very, very similar. Players at the elite level, the PGA Tour, the LPGA Tour, even recreational players, everybody seemed to love the look of this. So Titleist really didn't change that. It maintained its aerodynamics, but it did tinker around a little bit with the way that the adjustable weight moves in the back. So you have 5 positions in the back to create a draw or a fade bias, or also a neutral setting. Now, the face insert that Titleist gave the TSR3 is different than the TSR2 because players that tend to go to the 3 model tend to find the center of the face a little bit more often with their shot. So Titleist went about making a face that's going to really benefit those players. And what they did was, on the inside of the hitting area, there's a very stiff ring that goes around in this section here. And what that does is to help to create more stiffness here and amplify ball speed in the very center of the face even more. But according to the company, even though it's a little bit stiffer and thicker in this ring, it's not going to be any slower than it was in the TSI3. So, according to Titleist, what you're going to have is the same ball speed protection in the TSR3 that you had before, but more ball speed and better performance on center struck shots. Now, the Titleist TSR4, just like every 4 designated driver in the Titleist lineup recently, this is a spin killer. This is designed to help players who tend to balloon shots, overspin them, maybe a heavy slicer who's looking to reduce spin. It has the smallest club head of any of the clubs in the TSR lineup. We're now down to 430 cc, so you're giving up a little bit of forgiveness to get that low spin condition. What's really unique about this driver, though, is that for the first time, Titleist is giving you up and down adjustability because it has a 2-weight system that's designed into it, whereas the TSR3 has a sliding track to give you draw and fade bias. You now have an 11-gram weight and a 3-gram weight. The players and fitters can flip around to help increase or decrease both the spin rate as well as the launch angle. The difference in the settings is about 250 to 300 RPM, which is pretty significant. So if you're a player who's going to be looking for a new driver this season, you're looking for more speed, more adjustability, and more ball speed protection, you might want to talk to a good custom fitter about the Titleist TSR family of drivers.